This is a Fox News alert. We are monitoring a situation, a shooting at Fort Hood, Texas. We do not know the extent of this shooting. We have been told that it is confirmed and that there is an active situation ongoing at that installation. And of course, this installation, Fort Hood, is the same place where Major Nidal Hasan in 2009 killed 13 people. Someone on base talking to one of our Fox News producers says this is an active shooter on the installation. 2 victims have come into the ER so far. No suspect has been caught. That is from a producer talking to someone familiar with the situation on the ground at Fort Hood. We are monitoring this situation closely. As we get information from authorities, we'll bring it to you here on Fox. This is a Fox News alert updating a story we brought to you at the beginning of the show. We're getting more information tonight about the breaking news of a reported shooting at Fort Hood in Texas. Now we are getting confirmation from senior defense officials there is an active shooter incident at Fort Hood. National security correspondent Jennifer Griffin is at the Pentagon with the latest. Hello, Jennifer.
Hi, Brett. Well, my sources in the Texas Department of Public Safety say that authorities are en route to Fort Hood and that there have been multiple casualties. There is an active shooter situation in place, according to a senior U.S. defense official that we've spoken to. Army sources on the base of Fort Hood said that they are telling everyone to shelter in place. There are alarms going off across Fort Hood as we speak. The active shooter has not been stopped at this moment. It's not clear whether there was one shooter or multiple shooters, and it is not clear how many casualties, but I'm told there are multiple casualties. There were reports from local news affiliates talking about shots being fired in a motor pool area, and that about 10 to 20 shots were fired in total. Again, it's not clear at this point in time how many people were injured, but one emergency room official said that at least 2 people had been brought in with casualties as a result of the shooting, Brett.
You know, just getting word, Jennifer, from our Capitol Hill producer Chad Pergram saying that the Army Secretary John McHugh was up on Capitol Hill in the Mansfield room for a reception and left to head back to the Pentagon to be briefed on the incident at Fort Hood, although he said he couldn't get into numbers because, quote, it's coming in all second, third, fourth hand, but it's a tragedy no matter where it's happened. He said it's an emotional moment. The Army Secretary leaving Capitol Hill immediately, driven back to the Pentagon to get more information. Again, he couldn't confirm the numbers nor the extent of casualties, but he was getting information by the second. Now, just to review, this is the same post that had the shooting in 2009 with Major Nidal Hasan. So this Fort Hood area is very familiar with this situation. If, as the initial reports are being confirmed, it is a multiple shooting situation where there may be multiple casualties.
Remember, this is a very large Army base. In fact, there are units who have just returned from Afghanistan who would be in processing right now at Fort Hood. It is a place where a lot of the mental health facilities for the military take place. There are hospitals there. It's as though it is a large city. But remember, after the Nidal Hasan shooting in 2009, in which 13 people were killed, 30 injured, there were strict regulations on the base to prevent this kind of thing from happening again. Clearly, that those measures did not work, did not stop this shooter today. What's not clear at this point in time is whether there is one shooter or multiple shooters, and if any are currently in custody.
Jennifer, stand by if you would. Joining us now on the phone, Charles McManus. He is from a local PBS affiliate there, and he is being evacuated currently from Central Texas College. Charles, can you hear me?
I can hear you. So
tell us the situation there, and where is Central Texas College in relation to Fort Hood?
It is directly across the Highway 190 from Fort Hood.
And what's happening now?
Well, right now we received a all-text bulletin. Every single employee, every single teacher, every single student received a text bulletin saying that Fort Hood campus and the main campus are closed. No more classes for today, and if you are there, to evacuate immediately.
Okay, and anything happening as far as authorities that you can see? Anything? Obviously, the evacuation is happening on your facility.
I cannot see anything dealing with Fort Hood. I know that our primary concern right now is to get the student body safely off of campus. And right now I'm still on campus doing a quick walkthrough of my building to ensure that there are no more students left in classrooms or in any laboratories.
So the understanding you have now, just by what you've received, is that this is still an active shooter at Fort Hood.
It is being treated as an active shooter. We have received no information right now saying that the situation has concluded itself.
You are familiar, unfortunately, with this being evacuated from 2009.
That's right. I was actually a student here at Central Texas College back during the Major Nidal Hassan incident. And they handled things very well here at college then, and they're basically sticking to their proven track record now to basically ensure the safety of the student body.
Okay, Charles, thank you very much for your time, and good luck getting out of the situation there. The official release from Fort Hood is coming out now, and it is fairly short. There has been a shooting at Fort Hood, and injuries are reported. Emergency crews are on the scene. No further details are available at this time, and it gives the Fort Hood Public Affairs Office contact. We cannot get any more information. We do know that the FBI had been making their way to Fort Hood from Waco, and we know that local authorities are on scene, but obviously this is an Army post, and there are plenty of authorities to deal with the situation, including military police. Jennifer Griffin, still at the Pentagon. I mean, this is a situation where they're now familiar with dealing with shootings at Army posts.
They are familiar. They have trained for this. They have measures in place to deal with this. What they would do in a situation like this, in the wake of the Nidal Hassan case, they would shut down all of the entrances and exits. No one would be allowed onto or off of the base. They have sent out through their text messaging and alert system for everyone to close their doors, to shelter in place. So they have practice with this. Unfortunately, when you have a situation like this, someone can still slip through.
Yeah. Jennifer, stand by if you would. Reporting from the Pentagon. As we get more information from Fort Hood and from Texas, we will bring it to you here. We've just been told the president has been informed of these reports from Fort Hood, and, quote, he'll continue to receive updates on the situation throughout the evening. We have an update on the situation at Fort Hood. Just getting now from a background senior law enforcement official saying it is believed that the threat of one shooter has been neutralized. They are aware there may be another shooter in the vicinity, and they are continuing with that in mind, as law enforcement always does. Again, a shooting at Fort Hood, Texas. There are multiple injuries, we are told, from people on the ground. A producer talked to someone there saying there are at least 2 in the ER right now. We're waiting for more information from Fort Hood, but again, senior law enforcement officials saying it's believed the threat of one shooter has been neutralized. Stay with us. Evening.